Hello everybody, welcome to GPX. We'll start with Fire Emblem Warriors. I do really like Three Houses, but I'm just not a big fan of like the Warriors series or genre as a thing. I haven't really played much of it, so I don't really know too much about it and the style. Compared to the core game, like Breath of the Wild versus, Hyrule Warriors, Breath of the Wild edition. Like, I feel like I'd always prefer the original rather than the Warriors games, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, but that's why they've been adding in these unique stories to them. And they've been doing this for a while. The first Warriors game I played was Dynasty Warriors Gundam. This was one of the earlier crossovers. It was on PS3, and those were always cool because there's so many different Gundam series, so they would mix up the characters. It's kind of Zelda, I guess Hyrule Warriors did this too. So that's their big selling point, right? Is that these are either sequels or they're telling a different story that you're not going to get from the main game. Certain people really like the games. Me, I kind of like the novelty of a new story, but it wore off.
I was kind of thrown off because, like, when it began, I thought we were gonna get a proper Fire Emblem.
Yeah, I thought it
And the
was going to be a
moment,
new Fire Emblem game, yeah.
because the art style is there, the smooth animations are there, and then the moment I saw Three Hopes, the moment I saw three and it's not houses, I went, "Oh, this is garbage." And
If it's anything other than Three Houses, it may as well be
Are
three
you not?
garbage
You're not
cans.
a big Muso guy or a Warriors guy or whatever?
I'm not. I think the last Muso game I played was the Legend of Zelda one that came out on Wii U and then remastered. I enjoyed it, but I bought it for all the wrong reasons. I bought it because I knew there was a wicked like Zelda theme rock jam at the end on the credits. And it was worth it for that.
I feel like the original Dynasty Warriors games were really cool.
That's like really popular here in Japan. That's insanely popular.
I think it's the history thing is one of it. They have to be doing something right if they keep pumping them out. But I do think the new stories is why these keep selling so well, because it is hard to innovate on that formula of hack and slash. If you don't plan it out properly, like when I played the Gundam one at first, I would just pick a guy and just hack and whatever, and that just gets boring so quick.
Yeah.
So unless you really kind of plan out your strategy, plan out your upgrades, plan out the way your forces move around, you're gonna get bored.
Well, I find it interesting, like a game like that, these Muso games can put so many enemies on screen, and it's just like it looks cool up until you hit them, and it's just like this whole wave of them doing the same animation. I'm not crazy in love with that. If you told me it's good, I haven't had anybody sort of convince me on why I should be playing it. And I guess that's a stupid enough reason, and I just haven't invested enough. The Zelda one, I had stakes for the story and for the characters. But something as gorgeous as Fire Emblem, like to see it relegated to a Warriors or Muso game, it's kind of a little sad. But I'm glad this was the opening announcement.
I don't think it was necessarily relegated. I think this is just them expanding, if anything.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah,
That's kind of how I think of these. If it's going to be another sequel, we'll get that in a few years, because I think Three Houses, it's still only a couple years old, right? So I see this as them just still kind of riding the hype of it and expanding, because if this game sells well,
yeah.
people are going to go to Three Houses and buy that. Everyone wants to make a universe nowadays. It's the three Houses universe now or something.
I'm not a fan of like that opening. I wasn't. This game right here got me.
I actually, I was watching the Japanese one, so I didn't actually see it. So this is the first time I'm seeing it.
And it's so
really
strange to me that the Famicom Wars, right? They wouldn't put that out in the US.
Yeah.
They thought like Americans wouldn't love the strategy games and blah blah blah. This game hasn't been announced in Japan. It wasn't in the last direct either. Even though Way Forward's doing it, it's still strange to me that there's just no announcement for Japan here.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
I'm surprised because I like the title Reboot Camp. I'm all in. I want this.
It's great. Yeah.
Did you guys play it? I never played them. So
Advance Wars. Yeah, I finished 1 and 2.
I got into Battalion Wars on Wii, and I love that game to death. And so on GameCube and Wii, I enjoyed the crap out of it. And I'm definitely excited to get into this. And Battalion Wars is a very different game altogether, but I feel like it's in the same artistic aesthetic style, chunky soldiers battling it out.
Yeah, Advance Wars, like both of them are really good. I remember like 2 was fantastic. Like, not to spoil anything or whatever, but like you end up not just confined to one like nation or island.
Yeah.
I think in the first one you're primarily the same 3 characters, and then but in the second one they it expands and you like end up taking like command of like different nations' armies as they do different quests.
That's exactly like
So,
Battalion Wars.
Yeah, I am.
Cool. For anybody who doesn't know, and I'm guessing it's probably the same in Advanced Wars, is like whenever you get a new unit, they're usually so chunky and unique to use. Like you'll get like a siege tank or something like a weird ass aircraft.
Yeah, this one's
And-
like the new unit that everyone like was scrambling for in this game is called the Neo Tank. And it looks like an octopus. Like
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
like the big tank, and then you have to do a secret mission to get this Neo Tank, and it's just this like orb with like octopi legs. Like, and it looks really cool. Yeah.
I love stuff like that, man. So I'm in. The direct started for me from that announcement on. I went, yes. I was shocked as hell that they showed No Man's Sky for the Switch.
I was like, wow, we've come a long way with this game.
Oh hell yeah, man.
I still haven't ever played it, but I remember the whole controversy that kind of drummed up when it came out. And
I have it for PS4, and I enjoyed it despite its broken nature when it first came out.
Didn't they fix a lot of the broken things though?
Dude, they overhauled this game like you wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. It is a vastly different game. And what's crazier is I was having so much fun when it came out on. And the thing about it was so unique is like just that randomness. I mean, if you love exploring, if you like this slight survival mechanic, it can get repetitive. But I'll tell you, man, I ended up on a planet and I thought it was pretty much dead. And I just found a pool of like jellyfish and just a pond. And that weird moment of like trying to find any life form and discovering that, like immediately I was like, I like this game a lot. And then it kept getting better and better and better. To see this game come out on Switch, I don't understand how it's possible. I don't get it. It's because they run an algorithm, if I'm not mistaken. There's something behind the scenes that creates this massively generated universe, but it's not randomly generated. So if Nat has the Switch, Nat can visit my planet. We can find each other amongst these trillions of worlds. And it's nuts. You can literally be spending your entire lifetime trying to search each of these games' worlds and maybe spending a second there on each world, and you won't have enough time. The amount of planets that are generated is staggering. So that's why like all these players are discovering new planets, new species. And again, of course, it's running off a template, right? A very extensive template. So you're going to get creature combinations. Sometimes they get tiring. So you'll get like a creature with like blue hair, and you have the same creature with like red hair. But most often or not, you're running into really unique creatures, man. It's mind-boggling that this thing's on the Switch. But moving on to the next one of your favorite announcements.
Oh, the big announcement. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
oh, this like I was like visibly like, oh. This was like a oh my god. I couldn't even believe it. I was like, what?
Dude, look at his armor.
Rabbit?
Look at DK's armor.
It's nuts, man. Yeah.
So for those who don't know,
Yeah.
this game for the GameCube is a staple of the Smash Fest at my house back in America. So when my friends would come over, I mean, I actually never really played the game too much. I'd play a little bit, but my brother, cousin, my 3 friends, it is so heated on the old CRT. It's worse than Melee because everyone can actually play, unlike Melee where it's just like me and my brother and everyone else gets wrecked. This game it's like we write up like sports brackets. It's like March Madness. It gets intense. So all of them were going nuts when this was announced. Like, oh my god, we got it, freaking out.
Are you nervous at all? Because like the recent sports games that have been announced haven't had the depth of the past titles. Like I own Mario Golf, and it's a far cry from Toadstool Tour, which was like the GameCube version. I mean, it's gotten a lot better. There's been some new free DLC that they've released, and it's made the game really, really, like I would say high 8s, 9s. But when it first came out, man, it was like a swimming in 7 kind of game.
No, I have faith in Next Level Games.
Yeah,
they're the original developers. So
are they developing this one?
Yes. Good old
And I like
studio, by the way.
The gear system as well. Sorry, it reminded me of a lot of the recent Mario Kart. So like you just change like your gear and you change like basic stats, like the same way you do in Mario Kart, which seems kind of cool.
Dude, we got to be in a league together, man. You can have
for
20 people. You'd have the entire people we play Smash Brothers with in a league.
We good? Yeah.
I'm serious, right?
Could be nuts. Yeah.
No, it'll be good. I have faith in these guys because the first one was fun. I didn't play the Wii one. I feel like this is one of those games
8
that
players.
people have been just hoping
8
for.
players.
And
Yeah.
it's weird that Nintendo kind of neglected it for so long, and I think finally they're like, okay, let's get one out finally, and here it is. So
I like the art style, man. I just love that rough ass.
It looks
like,
wicked. Like even just the cinematics are just like holy shit. Like this is awesome looking. Yeah.
I love that Mario thing because that's my brother plays Mario and he always does that finishing move and stuff. When I saw that, I was like, oh, he's gonna love this. Like they kind of got all the right things going, I think. I mean, just the detail looks great. I like that it's got all the players on the pitch too, which is nice. I don't know if the second one did that, but because the first one is just you pick the main guy.
Yeah,
and you
it's
have
a bunch
the
of random
Toads or Koopas
Toads or
or
Koopa
whatever.
Troopers.
Mm-hmm.
We can also confirm that Waluigi will be in this game.
He will be overpowered.
Yes!
He will be extremely overpowered as he's practically banned in the basement at the house. As soon as someone picks Waluigi, it breaks out into a fight.
He's way too lanky,
He's
that.
too
His
lanky.
lankiness is off the chart.
his lankiness contributes to all his goals. My brother's the only one. He'll never hit. I don't think he ever stoops to Waluigi. Every game he plays, it's Mario, Smash, Mario.
Yeah, I'll be honest, man. Every Mario sports game, I'm Waluigi. It's the cheapest, best character to have.
It's just
Mario...
like tennis is like arms like extend.
It's
to
like the
field.
longest stretch Armstrong playing on the field there, man. It's easy. I'm really excited for that 20 player football club. I think to have a Nintendo game do something that FIFA and
very
other
feverish, yeah.
Yeah. It's so good. It's like FIFA minus the racism. It's so perfect.
It's gonna be better than FIFA. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
It's like FIFA minus the racism, the what is it, the overpriced cards and borderline gambling system for kids. Yeah, it's awesome.
Same deal.
You got to look at who's designing the games too, right? Tennis and golf were both designed by Camelot, here in Japan. And do they? I mean, I don't know how popular the sports games are here. Whereas I feel like kind of the Western developers can kind of look at what the Western fans say about these sports games. Where I feel like I don't know, maybe it's more popular in the West.
I think next level games, if you're right, definitely have a better foothold on what they're doing.
Yeah, I think they kind of they've been looking at this. They've been seeing what people wanted. I'm hoping that they were like, hey guys, can you please let us make another soccer game already? And finally they did it. We have like 300 golf and tennis games. We've only got 3 soccer games. I like it. I don't know what's going on.
The European like Nintendo were just like, yeah, it's like this is better than the World Cup. Like, yeah, we're excited about it.
I don't know. It's weird. If you look at Camelot's like game thing, they actually started off as a Sega studio, by the way. Like it's like their name was literally Sega Sonic or something like that. They never actually made a Sonic game, but they made Shining Force.
And they were behind some of the Hotshot Golfs, right? Am I not mistaken?
Is that Everybody's Golf? I don't. Yeah. Everybody's Hotshot. Yeah.
So I will attest their golf games are on point, but
a lot of them. I mean, Mario. Yeah. I mean, they did all the golf. I mean, if you look at the thing, it's like Mario Golf, tennis, golf, Golden Sun.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
Golden Sun was great, though. Yeah, I love Golden Sun.
Oh no, it is.
That in the sports game.
No, they know what they're doing.
That was one of the best. That was one of the best golf games, Golden Sun. Yeah, try and hit the golf ball into the sun. Yeah.
Moving forward, Splatoon 3.
One of the friends I have, he loves Splatoon. Really says it looks exciting. Another guy I know here in Japanese, friend of mine, he said on the fence about it, and he's gonna play it because he plays it all the time. But he plays 2 all the time. But he said it kind of looks like a little bit too similar, a little bit too close. He's like, why not just do like a huge DLC pack and charge like $30-$40 for it instead of a new game?
I like Splatoon's aesthetic. I like the art style. I like the whole feel of this. But when I did play it online, I was kind of shocked to find out like a majority of people were way younger. And so I immediately was like, dude, I don't want to play with these guys. This is stupid. Fun fact, I'll have to check it later, but I know it was something recently that was publicized. A majority of Splatoon 2 players are all female. Like there are more female Splatoon 2 players than male. So it's a game that kind of pulled in a demographic not usually, inclined to playing a shooter type of a game. And I like it. I like it for all the right reasons. Like it's a good kind of competitive game. It's fun. The character designs are wicked. And if more girls are playing this kind of game, it's great. And I will attest one thing though, Salmon Run, the stuff that they showed, I have played that on Splatoon 2, and it is ridiculously hard.
That's the co-op one, right? So it's just you against a bunch of NPCs, but you're in a
Yeah, it's
team.
like the horde mode, and
Yeah.
it's just unforgivingly hard, man.
Mhm.
I bet you it's harder than Gears of War's horde mode. I bet you it is. I've played that and I've survived waves. 3 waves in Salmon Run, man. Jeez, you're just like, what the hell's happening here?
Why am I green? No.
Your
Yeah.
mobility is tied to paint, right? So if
Mm.
these guys are walking in with green paint, you start slogging and you can't run. It's a very, very interesting. And I don't know if I'll play it, but definitely if it's cheap enough, I may pick it up. The
Oh
US
yeah,
version.
this one, yeah. It's the one with the robots and like it's kind of like Advance Wars, kind of.
Really?
I've never played it, but it looks pretty cool. Like it looks pretty involved.
Can I recommend a game that's very similar to this but pixelated right now on Switch? Into the Breach.
Ooh.
Yes, I have played that. I did play that
It's
recently.
so
That's a lot
good.
of fun, and it's maybe a lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. It has a weird time mechanic in it,
Mhm.
and it's really like one of those like, if I fuck up, this is it.
Because they made Faster Than Light as well, and that's I feel like that's
Yeah.
even harder. Like
Yeah.
Faster Than Light is like Jesus Christ. I'm playing on easy, and I've never been to the end. It's like because you can never tell. Like you're supposed to be able to make enough decisions just to get by,
Yeah.
but you can never tell which decisions are the right decisions to make. I think Into the Breach, still continuing with this tangent, obviously, but Into the Breach is a little more forgiving
Way
than
more
Faster Than
forgiving.
Light. Yeah.
And I mean, if anything, it looks Front Mission looks like was the inspiration for Into the Breach.
Mhm.
So if it's anything similar to that, and from the looks of it, it looks nice with the 3D models, little chunky looking characters. I'm in. Why not?
Even
Is
just
it
like the
on?
damaging parts mechanic, it's like seems like something different. Obviously, it's not new because
Yeah.
the game's really old, but like that seems like a really unique part. Whereas most tactics strategy games, you're just damaging a unit,
Yeah.
or like whether it be a hero or like just a random unit, or you're just killing it and damaging it. But this one, you're actually damaging parts of a unit. So
Disney.
Disney Racer.
Was it-
Disney Racers. I mean,
Speedstorm? What is it called? Soulstorm?
I
I'm
don't
gonna
know.
take your
It's just-
money from your wallet, Storm. What kind of?
It'll
Take your
sell.
money from your wallet,
It'll sell. It'll sell. I guess we'll get to the point later on, but there's a reason that this is going to sell, and
Yeah.
we'll definitely talk about that.
It's
Towards
scary
the end.
because the developers are the guys that made the Asphalt games, and they're technically beautiful games. Yep, they're beautiful games. But my biggest concern with Asphalt series is it's a freemium game in disguise, and that's my concern because yes, it looks great and you can probably buy it on Switch, but man, the amount of like ads and like pushes to buy extra points and coins, it's just not. I don't buy it, and there's a lot of journalists.
That was a pun.
Right?
Oh.
there's a lot of journalists out there have talked about Asphalt 9 being a great title, and I just don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I think it's ridiculous. You can buy it on mobile. You'd be very impressed with the graphics, but the driving has nothing. It's very stagnant. Almost every car feels the same. There's not a lot of movement, and the whole freemium angle of doing this is
yeah, even like just to take a broader take on it, but like even going into making a game, any game, and just being like, let's make it freemium.
Yeah.
You're already making a bad decision. Like
you already shoot
you're
yourself
like,
in the foot.
yeah, it's like you've already shot yourself in the
The
foot, right? Like
yeah.
It's like you have to look at a game. Like first of all, maybe just like I want to make the game really good so I would enjoy it. Then second, like if I enjoy it enough, hopefully other people enjoy it.
Yeah,
That's like
Yep.
those are the two tenets you got to like start with, and then build on from that, right? So like
Disney, baby, monies need to be made.
They couldn't make more money if they tried, I think. But I mean, I
Oh,
don't
they
know.
trying, baby.
they're trying
Please
hard.
don't.
Yeah, it's a storm.
I
Yeah,
mean, there is those rumors that they're gonna
storm
buy
of
out.
speed. Go on.
Speaking of stormtroopers.
Whoa, I love it. It's Force Unleashed, but get this, the Wii version, which apparently was a superior version in terms
Oh,
of its simplicity and design.
it's like Sonic Unleashed. Okay, that makes a lot of sense with those Xbox and PS3 versions. They tried to like make it like huge, and then
Yeah.
everyone just prefers the Wii version because they're like, screw this. Just give me the levels in a row, and that's it. I'm more of a hub world guy. I mean, I don't know about Star Wars. Talk about Sonic, I guess, but I'm more of like a bigger, more expansive person, I guess. But there is something to
You're
be
a
said
bigger,
about
more
it.
expansive person. Just in
That's what
terms
the
of
ladies tell them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's exactly what they say.
His soul is huge. Yeah, at least 7 inches.
His heart is ginormous.
A humble 9 now. A humble 9.
That guy's got a 10-inch soul.
I mean, I guess
His
if it
goodness
looks
is
good,
piercing my brain.
oh, God. Piercing my brain. What does that mean? I don't even want to
That's
know.
into anime.
Hey man, we're talking about souls here, right?
Yeah.
Souls,
It's wholesome. It's totally wholesome.
Soul Calibur is not the next title, but
No, sorry. Well, they're playing Ezio's collection, which I'm very curious to check out. I mean, I have the PS3 versions of the game, but do I go back to those or do I check this one out? And it looks half decent, but I'm kind of surprised that the frame rate still is struggling.
I guess big Assassin's Creed guys.
I was really into the first and second one.
Yeah, I played the first and second one as well.
And they were phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
first one was okay, great ideas, and the second one
And the
just
second
blew
one
my
like
mind.
vastly improved upon it. And then
Holy jeez!
yeah.
Even Brotherhood was decent.
And I played 4. I liked 4 as well. 4 was really good.
Is that Black Flag?
Yeah.
Black
Did you
Flag
not
I
like
heard was good. No, I did not play that.
Yeah.
You guys never played 3?
I never played 3.
No.
Too American for me.
I'm such a fickle man. Hear me out. But
Go
I saw the commercial for 3, and it was a Rihanna song. And I immediately went, all right, I'm not in this game.
Why was it Rihanna when it's set?
I don't know. This commercial.
Did she write an
for
original
3,
song and it was just like, he's gonna kill you
it
with
was
assassin weapons? And it was just that on like repeat.
There's something about I don't know. There's something about like pop songs.
killing
I don't-
franchises.
Or like just like
that.
Epica. Yeah, like you
Right.
yeah.
I don't know. Do like an orchestra or something. Do
Yeah.
something that's like at least I don't know. Throws
Yeah,
me
like
out
because
the
it's a
mood.
mismatch of like themes, right? You're not
Yeah, you're like running through this like Virginian forest in like 1720. It's like
I
I'm
think-
gonna run through the storm and be it's like come on. I mean
It's this song. It's like I'm coming home, tell the world I'm coming home.
that's extremely tacky.
It's so to me, like Arkham City did that. But thankfully I wasn't tuned into the commercials.
Well, sure, and it's Batman, right?
I
mean, yeah,
Bought
you're gonna...
the game and it was like some pop song in the commercials. And I was just like, what the hell is wrong with you people?
like you can kind of almost get away with that with like Bond, right? Because they do that
Bond works.
with Bond, but like
works.
they tailor the song specifically.
But that's different though, right? Because
Yeah.
Bond is living
Or
in
Imagine
the,
Dragons and Mission Impossible.
I mean,
Chef's kiss.
but those things are those things are living in the now, though, right? If it's for a period game and it's
Yeah, it doesn't really work for
I'm
period.
coming
It's just
home.
so
It's like
bizarre.
just doesn't work. You could pretty much just fit classical music or orchestrated music to anything. So
Yeah.
And
might
you
as well just do
you save
that.
on money because there's no like you don't have to pay anyone like royalties or anything because it's all in
Just
public
do- just
domain.
do-
Well,
just
it's
do
moronic
Beethoven.
marketing departments that have grown bloated and destroyed the industry. I mean, this is the reason why we're like constantly struggling in almost every industry. It's like the upper management and executive and marketing departments are so detached from the product. It's ridiculous what they suggest. And then you have something that should make sense. Like a lot of Nintendo commercials and products are pretty like streamlined. And it turns out that the creative directors have a hand in how they're presented. So that's a difference, Sometimes it's not the best. this is maybe a topic for another fun podcast, but I want to know, is there a commercial out there, a game commercial that you're like, yes, this gets the tone right, and I love this.
Smash Bros commercial for N64.
Oh, those are beautiful. Yeah.
You ever see
So
that,
happy
Nat?
together. Yeah.
So happy.
And
Nat,
they're
is
like,
that a
I've
thing
never
in
seen that.
Australia?
Yeah.
Oh my
they're
god,
like
you
in
missed
all
that.
furry costumes, and they start beating the crap out of each other.
And it's that guy who's like in every 90s commercial. He's like, something's gone wrong in the world of Nintendo.
Nintendo. But you know what? Those 90s commercials of Nintendo,
Are
they're
the
great.
best. Yeah,
The
those are
Banjo
good.
I've seen
Kazooie
some of
one
the
I
Sonic
loved.
ones, like some of the old Sonic ones, and they're just like, "What are you playing, Nintendo? Get that out of here!"
Oh,
Yeah.
Genesis does.
I mean, the
Genesis
Crash
does is
Bandicoot,
awesome.
the Crash
So good.
Bandicoot ones were great.
Yeah,
He's going out with a megaphone. I think the game that recently struck a chord with me, and I was like, wow, this is a great commercial, and it's exactly what the product is. I mean, it's not recent. It was Metroid Prime. They got Alex Prioras, I forget his last name, but he did Dark City. He does a lot of sci-fi movies, and he ended up doing the commercial, and it was like live action, and this thing looked gorgeous. If you get a chance to check out Metroid Prime's commercial, it gets the tone right. It gets this mood right. The music is good, and it's not like a weird pop song. Metal Gear Solid's Japanese commercials are brilliant. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, the GameCube game, they literally project game scenes. So like imagine two trucks going down a tunnel, and as they're like going back and forth, they project that game scene of Solid and Liquid on Jeeps.
I think I've seen that.
It blew my mind. I went, holy crap, that's a commercial. I love stuff like that.
They do some good commercials here. Even
Right.
this, I left the Smash Japanese commercial. It's like these like kids walking through a forest, and they look up in the sky, and like DK jungles, like thing raises, and they're all just like, and it's
Yeah.
oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Smash always, I think Smash has always nailed it. And that's, I'm always happy for that kind of stuff. Nat, you might as well take away this.
Oh yes, this is a Chrono Cross, I believe. Yeah, I'm super excited about. I have not yet played it, and I've been wanting to play it for a long time. I played a Chrono Trigger about like maybe 4 years ago on the DS, the kind of remastered, like retouched one.
That's the last we'll ever see of that series.
And that was great. Like, obviously it was like pretty. I don't know if you guys have any more facts about it, but it seems like it was pretty in line with the original.
I just got your joke.
It seemed like it was pretty in line with the original, and yeah, it played really well. It was a good story. This is like a game itself, kind of not really a complaint, but like a thing with like the multiple endings, which is like at this point in my life, I don't really have time for like 13 multiple endings. But yeah, the game itself is fantastic. It played really well, Chrono Trigger, and I'm hoping Chrono Cross like plays the same way and is faithful to the original one. Yeah,
the DS one's really, that's like the best version of it or whatever, right? That's like because I've had it for PlayStation and Super Nintendo, but I actually never went through and beat the whole thing. I don't know how many games there are or whatever, and I also wanted to try like Secret of Mana too, because it's kind of like
the remake
genre.
looks pretty solid, man.
I was getting into Secret of Mana as well. Those are kind of cool. I played like the first 3.
Is Chrono Trigger really not on like, it's not even on the Switch or anything? That's kind of crazy.
Because it's a DS. Well, the original's like what?
Super
Well,
Nintendo.
the problem is with Chrono Trigger is there's a rights issue with not only the music but Akira Toriyama.
The Dragon Ball guy.
Yeah.
He's got to get paid, baby. He's got to get paid.
As if he's not rich enough.
And you know, so when stuff like that happens, especially if you're dealing with a company like Square Enix, it wasn't a joke when Sakurai went. It was like the hardest thing to do was to get Sora into Smash. He wasn't joking, because Square Enix is like a bureaucrat's dream world. The amount of red tape and amount of things to do. I'm amazed at some of the games they churn out, like Final Fantasy VII Remake and the way it's come out. I don't know how it's possible. And with Chrono Trigger, it's one of those sad situations where a collab happened, and because it was such a chance meeting, you can't get a re-release. Have that game come out on another flat platform, just port it over. It means getting a whole new contract.
But it's nuts because Capcom has no problem doing it. I think it's, not saying Toriyama's blameless, but I feel like Square Enix, they just like to drive those hard bargains. I mean,
Yeah.
they told Sakura like, hey, you get one song for Smash. I mean, I think they upped it up with a little bit
I think
with
we got
Sephiroth.
9.
Thanks. I guess. I mean,
9. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, how many SNK songs we got for King of Fighters? We got like 40 songs.
I know there is rights issues and stuff though, even with the songs, because Sega has this issue too with Sonic games. But
Yeah.
what was it like? What was the one Final Fantasy? It was a Dissidia, like the second one or whatever that came out on PlayStation 4 or something,
Yeah,
and it was missing so many songs. So if they can't get it in their own game, then
Even like
they should
like-
probably switch up their business model and realize this is not working.
that happened to GTA like 3, Vice City, and San Andreas as well. Like a lot of the radio stations had to just be cut out because like they couldn't get all the licensing for the music and stuff, which is like that's like almost part of the soul of the game. It's like just getting into a car and like, oh, this
If you're
is
gonna
so-
re-release it for a quick cash in, you might as well spend that extra money.
yeah, and make it like authentic.
Yeah. In a sad state of affairs, we got Kirby next. Eating up some of the cutest dogs I've ever seen in games.
This is one of the most disgusting games that I've ever seen in my life.
I know.
No, seriously, I'm really excited about it.
I'm stoked.
I can't believe it, man. I can't believe they managed to create such a charming and honestly a very beautiful looking game. Very, very
it looks
beautiful.
really good. Yeah.
I mean, you see depth of field stuff being done here. I don't know, man. It's just
Some it's
feels
like, part of it's like it feels like it's just like Mario meets Breath of the Wild almost.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
in like a modern setting. Like it's nuts. Yeah. Especially those levels where it's like the overgrown city. And, like, yeah. It looks wicked.
Yeah, I'm glad they finally got it out there though. I mean, they've been trying to get a 3D Kirby off the ground for years.
Oh, I know.
Fell apart on GameCube and just nothing kind of happened after that. So this feels like a good title. Team's really
When I
unique.
saw the vending machine, I was just like, oh.
And they got the upgrades too, which is cool.
Right.
Yeah, the little shop development thing as well. That's the area development.
Very
thing,
Terry
that's really
Town
cool.
from Breath of the Wild. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good, man. Kirby's always gonna be missed. And to see a good Kirby game, like a AAA budget Kirby game come out, I'm very happy. I think the last one I played was on Wii, something Return to Dreamland or something. It was another one. It's 2D, but it wasn't that great. And the Switch also got a Kirby game released. There was a 2D one.
Yeah.
But again, they're 2D ones. There's never been a foray into a 3D big budget Kirby game for a long time. And here we are.
Yeah, this will be good. And I mean, Star Allies, assuming it's the same. I'm assuming it's HAL Laboratory. I'm guessing. And I mean, that game had a bit of a rough start, but with all the free DLC they pumped into it, everyone's saying, the final product is amazing. So I'm hoping with this one they maybe learn their lesson. I'm hoping they don't do that. Like, okay, here's a bare bones game, and then here's a bunch of DLC later. Because I don't know. I feel like that turns a lot of people off at the beginning.
I just realized there have been a lot of Kirby games on Switch. This is the 4th one.
Is it? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a free-to-play sort of 2D dungeon crawler type of a game. Not a dungeon crawler, but boss rush mode where you play. I forget what it's called, like Critical Strike or something like that. There's a fighting game, Kirby Fighters 2.
Oh yeah, Kirby Fighters 2. What? I never even played that.
I think I played I played the first Kirby game, and that was exciting. Obviously I couldn't, like, I got like maybe I played the first few levels or something, but I couldn't get quite far. It was ages ago, like maybe 10 years ago.
It's a tough
like
game, especially at the end. It starts off deceptively easy and you're like, oh, I can just float forever, but then once you get towards the end, it's like, oh god. I just looked at the next one. Oh gosh.
Oh,
the next one's Kingdom Hearts. You're not excited about it?
cloud version now.
Yes.
Go on.
I hate this concept of a cloud version. If they can get No Man's Sky, which apparently has these trillion world algorithm super code, and if they can get Doom both Dooms on here can get Kingdom Hearts on there. I hate this practice because, of course, it's Square Enix who's leading the pack with this. Them and Capcom with this garbage, and oh, but it wouldn't work. No, you just don't want it to work. You don't want it. You don't want to get it to work. That's the difference. You want to put this on a server in Seattle or something that Amazon owns, and you just want people to stream it. And the only change you want to make is you want to just update the HUD with the Switch buttons. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
Isn't it funny that I was watching someone else online and they were like interim dream generation or something, Kingdom Hearts.
They need to stop with this. The sword. They're like, okay, look up an I word in the dictionary, quick. Okay, interregnum. Okay, interregnum collection. It means to be convalidated.
Integram masterpiece. Yeah.
The person went, how come there's no fancy ass logo and like their own design work? Because that's what they do. They spend their money on that instead of actually making a half decent port of the game. I'm singing your praise, Tony. Like that's the point I was gonna make. If you get both Dooms on Switch, the most demanding game, and No Man's Sky, which I can't believe will be on Switch. What's this?
Honestly, even the price, like you can buy it on eShop now, and it's like 11,000 yen, which is close to like 110.
It's 11,000 yen for all of them. 11,000
for all of them. And if you think about that, that's like 6 games for 120, which is not bad considering. But like, yeah, the main criticism is that they're all cloud versions. So it's like,
what's the point?
It's like I want to have the copy of the game. Like I want to.
It's like paying for a YouTube video.
Yeah, we have to. Yeah, our YouTube fees are high enough as it is. Yeah, to pay this content to get it out to you.
Was that that trailer you like on YouTube? Pay for it.
No, I hate the practice. I mean, if you're like, okay, hey, I don't want to really buy games. I want to pay for a cheaper version, or I just don't want to. Excuse me, I don't want to store it on my Switch. Have it available.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Having it is the only way to get the game. Capcom did the same thing with Resident Evil 7 on there. It's like you could have got it to work. If Doom gets it to work, I'm just sick of these companies, and they're always taking the easy way out. Instead of, oh, hey, let's try to optimize our game like they used to do in the 90s and try to get things to working. PC games are the same. There's no wonder that file sizes are like 300 gigabytes for one install because nobody gives a shit anymore about optimizing games. They just want to make it really easy, make a quick buck, and this is the easy way to do it. So let's just stream it Stadia style.
Yeah.
BS.
Oh, speaking of which, while we're here, let's take a solemn moment to mourn the death of Stadia, officially announced this week.
No way. Was it really?
Stadia is officially dead for the second time. It died once before, but now it's dead.
It's dead. It's dead for real now. Yeah, they shot it again.
I had no idea.
Stadia, may you never rest in peace. May his soul
You know what
rise
you
in
did?
pain.
You made cloud versions, and that's why you did.
How did it die? Like Google.
Well, when you have a membership fee for a streaming only game platform, and then you have to buy the game to play on your streaming only platform. I mean, it makes no business sense. And when you get people like Jade Raymond, who's notorious at starting projects and then bouncing. I mean, Assassin's Creed 1, she was there, she bounced. 2 was taken in a very different direction. All of a sudden, she was at EA for a bit, and now at this. Like, I mean, I don't want to hate on somebody, but like, when certain people start showing up, if Peter Molyneux shows up in a conference for an RPG, I'm gonna be looking twice. I'm like, dude, your track record's down. What are you doing here? And I mean, come on, the idea is ridiculous. I'm paying for a membership for a Chromecast-like device, and then I have to buy the games full price, and I don't necessarily have any tangible, physical, downloadable thing. It's just, it streams. It's bad business decisions.
And it's not like they don't have enough money to work something out where, hey, the games are $10 cheaper on here or something.
They could have done that.
I mean, look at Steam. No. Steam, you actually keep those games and they have sales every 2 minutes. I mean, yeah, they have the added bonus of being able to play it and stuff, but it's actually phenomenal how bad they messed that up.
Well, they have they focus on the stupid aspects of like, you could be on YouTube and watch a video and then click the video and you'd be in your game session. Like what you're talking about takes a substantial infrastructure to pull off.
It's not even a feature that I really want. Like,
I know.
I can't just click a few buttons to go to another menu. Like,
Yeah, dude, I know. Did these people actually play games? Like, yeah, I'm gonna be watching.
Can I just click one button and start playing my game now? I don't want to press a power button. Not that one.
No, it had a very catchy gimmick that I knew I would never use. And they showed Assassin's Creed Black Flag, right? It was like they showed Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and the guy's swimming, and they're watching a YouTube video on how to get through. And the guy clicks on a link that pops up for Stadia, and you start right at that area. And I was like, oh, that's pretty friggin' amazing. But like, then that thought occurred to me that you guys just said it too. It's like, do I really want to do that? When I'm playing a game, I want to play the game.
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, why don't you just press this button and skip vast swaths of the content and you just be in this area? Yeah.
It's like, no, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's again touting. It's a lot of executives coming up on stage and telling us stuff that's gonna work, and none of it worked. And we're just tired of this stuff. That's like a very EA kind of a move. That's it. Stadia's done. What will Jade Raymond do next? Only time will tell.
Produce this podcast?
Into the ground, baby.
Never.
What do you think about the next one? I'm really happy at this little guy, Quinoa.
Yeah, I never played him, so I'm excited to actually like get into him.
It looks beautiful,
I
man.
don't think I saw this on the Japanese one. This looks really
It was
cool.
on there. I'm pretty sure it was.
Quinoa remaster, man.
Oh, this is
two.
very short. Oh, and then the portals, of course. I forgot about the portals. That's great.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, Portal 1 and 2.
The Portal's good. I got the first one. It's fun stuff.
And it doesn't look half bad, man.
As long as the frames are good. I mean, I don't even care if there are graphical downgrades because I think it adds to the charm.
I bet you this will sell more on the Switch than it will on their Steam Deck.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think this is like a perfect Switch game. Oh my gosh, you beat one room, save it, come back. I mean,
Yeah,
that's made for the handheld experience, I think.
nice.
100%.
And then the next one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I love. But it looks cool. It reminded me of like what they're doing with like Octopath, or what they have done.
I think this was a precursor to all of that, right? The art style kind of fits it. I like it, man. It's a nice way to sort of revive a classic. How about the next announcement?
Oh,
Cringe-topia
bringing
for
the
me.
meme back. Oh yes.
Cringe. No, I love it. It's good.
It's one of the greatest memes of all time.
I love it, dude.
Anytime they do a live play, Yoshiaki Koizumi I love. He really pulls through.
Koizumi. You better be careful, dude. If you say anything bad, Christian might go nuts. He loves the guy.
I love him.
He worships Koizumi ever since the Switch. What was it?
The Mario Cap. Yeah.
He's the true mastermind behind Majora's Mask. Everyone's like, it was Ichio Numa's first. Get out of here. Learn your history. Koizumi was there with him, making all the good decisions.
It looks fantastic. I don't know, like, but the only thing is, like, it seems like the Joy-Cons don't have the same functionality as the Wii remote. I don't know, just like the feel and watching people like do the movements and
There's
stuff.
no pointer. Initially, yes, I would see your concern, but a lot of the Wii Sports titles didn't require necessarily a pointer. And I think it's going to be the gyroscope in the Joy-Con is actually far superior.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna get a better HD sort of rumble, better feel. I'm happy, but I'm kind of mixed because these avatars look like Xbox avatars.
Yeah, the avatars look way too different to me. Avatars, yeah.
Yeah. And what happened to boxing? Yo, boxing, what up? I mean, like,
I think they'll DLC it at some point.
But I will say, I was very happy when they announced, and you probably see it at the end, that they're going to do a golf DLC free. and Wii Sports Golf was fantastic. Dare I say better than Mario Golf?
I remember one time like I was playing golf or something, and it was that really short course. It's like par 2 or 3, and you can literally hit the ball onto a little island and then
It's a
just
hole in
hit it
one.
into the hole. And I
Yeah.
like hit it and curved it, and it hit the stick and just fell straight into the hole.
Yeah.
The hole in one. I was like,
Ooh.
oh, this is awesome.
No, that's
Yeah.
the second. That's the second hole. I know what
Yeah.
you're talking about. This is the best one.
And it's I don't know. There's something about it. It's like, why would I ever want to play golf when I can just play Wii golf? and it just captures the entire.
Of
aesthetic.
course.
This was great. Yeah, watching them play volleyball and stuff. Yeah,
I love it.
Dude, I like that they put volleyball in there. I really like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect them to do that. I thought they were going to just do like tennis and golf and boxing when I saw the logo. So
And they got badminton in there too.
yeah. I feel like badminton has potential, obviously, to be much faster than tennis too, because like a pro badminton game is like ridiculously speedy.
Oh
Sure.
yeah, hell yeah.
Mhm.
But if you notice the art style, they're using their Miis. So the characters do look, there's two different art style mashes here,
Yeah,
Which
I saw that.
right?
So can you make a
I'm
me? Or
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with that. I like that. I don't like that whole like HD avatar Xbox 360.
no, just embrace the me for what it. I was just looking at me stuff when we started the podcast, and like just bring back that style. Like,
Yeah,
that's-
man.
it's a part of the charm. I think we don't need to go for this realistic looking or this
Yeah, it was all
whatever.
shitty looking. I loved it. And you know, boom, golf. I can't. I'll tell you, man. I hate playing golf. I don't enjoy it. But golf games always have my heart. Tiger Woods games were the greatest. I'm not gonna buy any other golfers' name games. Roy McIlroy or something. Rory McIlroy.
Tiger Woods that name is undefeated.
Undefeated.
You can't-
Shooter McGavin 07. Yeah, I love that.
Right?
Okay, that actually that might be the best.
Could be a close second.
That might,
And-
that might be the best name in sports.
And guys, we gotta be on this playtest. I want in.
Oh yeah, the playtest.
GPX
That'd be
plays
awesome.
sports.
We do it, man. Do a stream with that. Oh my god.
GPX plays sports.
If my house is big enough, I'd do it.
Yeah, but like it's online. We'll see if we can match up online. Straight record it and then put it up. This is such a cash grab, man.
I just skipped through it because like I'm not a big fan of the Taiko games. Like,
I have these games
Oh, dude.
and I have the drum accessory and I love them. I think they're great. But the thing that's really scummy about it is it feels like a very quick turnover. Like if you play the first Taiko Tatsujin game that was released, it was pretty decent. Just something about this feels very scummy. 72 songs, and you have a paid membership of $5 a
Oh,
month, and
do
you
you?
get like 500 songs. I like the first game only because they had like remakes of Soul Calibur songs and Tekken songs in there, and it's that Fountain one from Tekken 5. It's like this really heavy disco, like fucking like Euro trash music. It's so good.
nice.
Sure.
So
Love
I
the
enjoyed
tra-
it, but
love
like
the Euro
I looked
trash.
at this and I wanted to get this, but like the paid membership thing, I just went, oh Namco, those arcade businesses aren't doing well, are they?
And
Triangle strategy.
yeah, we got the triangle strategy. It looked awesome, and I still don't understand the 3 like scale virtue things, but hopefully when we play the game, we'll understand it. But yeah, we were just reading before, and apparently the prologue demo is now available up to chapter 3, so you
That's
can actually
ridiculous.
They're giving you so much.
play the first 3 chapters, and your save data will go over to the real game when you buy it.
Dude,
So,
that's a buy, man.
yeah.
And speaking of which, Tony, you want to take this on because you're gonna be doing video.
Oh yeah, I'm stoked about this. I've really never gotten too much, and I played a little bit of the main game, but I think it's great that they're putting this out. I'm excited. I love the art style. I love the whole aesthetic of the games, and yeah, I mean just a good old run and gun. Can't go wrong with that. I love games like this and Metal Slug. So
Yeah, I've bought the original Metal Slug on Switch, and it's just great. Like,
oh,
Dude,
it's,
yeah.
when I
Can
was in
I
Tokyo,
recommend
I was
something?
going ham on
What's
that.
up?
Can I recommend a game that's been blowing my mind? I want to buy it, but look up. It's called Mighty Goose. It looks nuts. It's a cybernetic goose going around, running and gunning.
Is it the same goose from from
That
Untitled
goose
Goose Game?
I wish, man. I am this close to buying this game because it looks insane. It looks like a Metal Slug game, but on steroids.
Oh, geez. It looks like
Right?
that. Oh my gosh.
I was watching somebody, a YouTube channel where they talk about good animation, and the guy went on and on about this game. And he said one of the coolest things was like, even despite being a 2D pixelated game, there's like squash mechanics in there. So when the character jumps, they don't just jump. He goes squashes in and jumps up, and it looks nuts. I mean, cybernetic goose. I'm already selling this game. It's the best thing in the world.
It looks nuts just thinking.
I know.
It looks pretty crazy. I'd like to try that out.
The scene that got me to get this was he was on a surfboard shooting, riding a wave as he's gunning down cybernetic rabbits. I can't believe this game, man.
That's what it's all about.
and he looks so badass and lame at the same time.
It's all right because lame is the new badass, so it's okay.
It is. Metroid Dread getting a free update. Dread mode and boss rush mode come in soon.
And rookie mode.
And rookie mode for David Jaffe.
It might still be a bit too difficult. Yeah.
maybe. I'm happy, man. A free update like that. Why the hell not? I'm all for it. And it's good.
Jeez.
You know, he actually put out a video as soon as his direct was done. He's like, it still doesn't solve the problem I have with the game.
It doesn't solve the problem that he wasn't paying attention to the breakable
Right
walls.
there. How do you feel about this?
I mean, you know, if you're gonna make a real impact, put out Mother 3, not Mother 1 and 2.
I mean, I'm excited just because I've never had a chance to play them, and I just want to see what they're about, and like I've heard good things, and
It's true.
yeah.
What is it? Because Earthbound, what is it called? Origins was only put out on the Wii U, right?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, that's right. That makes sense then. Yeah, I mean the first Mother game is it's pretty broken actually. So I mean it's fun, but if you want to suffer, then you play that game.
Play the first game.
The poster is awesome though. They got like live action kids and stuff like lining up in a mountain. It looks like one of those like 90s epic movies. It's good stuff.
I really want to get into it because it feels like just the Smash thing. Like because of Smash, I want to sort of understand what is this world because since Melee, it's just that stage. Is it on it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love that zone, the music and stuff, and I want to see like how is it really like.
All the Mother or Earthbound stages are just like really cool looking. Like
Right.
Yeah, on it and Foresight.
Foresight, yeah.
Here's one of the big ones, and honestly, I was surprised. So, okay, at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, "Is this like a deal or like a phone game or something?" And I'm like,
That's what I thought.
And no, I'm very. I'll say this: I'm surprised and I'm happy. I think it's good.
That was very good.
Very good idea. This is the best-selling Switch game by a mile.
About a mile.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, worldwide anyway, in Japan, Animal Crossing rules the roost. But if you put all the sales together, this is the top one. You know, it makes sense not to put 9 out. Maybe they're okay with doing the same series on the same platform. But I think with Mario games, unless it's like really, really different, they are just going to really pump everything into the one game. And I mean, it's impressive. The game came out in 2014, Mario Kart 8.
Yeah.
So, I mean, hey, it's still the best-selling one. You know, give it more DLC. Why not? They're gonna make money on it.
Any N64 game courses that are remastered, I'm all for it.
And even like the fact that they're tying it to the
Switch expansion.
The Switch expansion gives more.
So if you have it, you get it for free.
Yeah.
But that I don't like though, because that's the thing. Is it tied only to the expansion? Can you buy them separate?
Yeah, you can buy it for 24 bucks.
2,500.
Is that what? Okay, good. Okay, so I didn't actually read
Which
that.
people were saying it's only one wave, but that's stupid. It's $24.99, and you get the whole 6-7
It's
waves.
like the Smash Fighter season pass, I think.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. So I didn't see that. So I thought it was only because I was talking to my brother about this. I thought it was only tied to the pass. I was
No,
like,
no.
oh my God, that's a disaster.
I mean, I'm gonna download it from the past, but eventually I would want to own them. But it's pretty sweet. You just
Yeah.
have them. I have the pass, so
Did you got the pass?
I got the pass.
Oh, nice. Dan, did you get the pass?
Oh, yeah.
I was in tears, man.
Okay. Yeah.
This really got to me. You know why? And I'll tell you why. To begin a trailer like this, it just, I know it's not Breath of the Wild 2. I know it's okay. But this scene is very reminiscent of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. And that's the game I just adore to death.
Love Xenoblade 1. Yeah. And I didn't
And
quite get it until I saw the sword, and I was like, wait a second.
The Monado map?
Because I watched it in Japanese and I didn't know what it was. I was like, what the hell is this? I thought it was just like another RPG. So
It's a very No More Heroes red jacket. Just the character designs, man. Look at the you're telling me Pokemon Arceus it has terrible graphical drawing problems. I'm looking at this, man, and this looks phenomenal. I'm amazed at the scale of these worlds and just the music. And again, there's hints on both of Xenoblade 1 and 2 timeline combining, because they have people are saying this is Mithra, and that's Pyra, because they got this gem on them, and so do the main characters. It's just this weird gem on their chest. And both games, we know Xenoblade 2 is in an alternate reality, and Xenoblade 1 is in a different reality. And this is supposed to tie them together.
I didn't know that. I never actually played the games. I've never played Xenoblade. I got the first one, but I
played the first one on DS. Like I traded in my DS for a new 3DS to play Xenoblade 1.
That's what I did too. I
have it on
Switch.
Switch.
I was like, this screen is too small. I was playing in Japanese, the kanji. I was like, what is this crap? I was like, I'm just get the Wii version, and then it came out.
The Wii version's good. That's where I first played
solid.
it. But like the Switch version is just perfect.
Do you have the definitive edition?
I have the definitive edition.
It's good, right? Yeah.
It's phenomenal, man. It's like the problem with the Wii version, my biggest concern was the faces looked horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get an art style nailed down, and they changed that.
Mm-hmm.
They introduced new areas into the definitive edition.
Because when I first saw it, I thought the definitive edition, the faces looked a bit too cartoonish.
Yeah.
And then like after a while of just seeing it, like continually seeing it, I was like, wait a second, but they look better than the original faces.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, I'm on board with this. This works. Yeah.
I'm so happy.
But even on like the fact that they like, it's a bit of a tangent, but the fact that they managed to put that game onto 3DS was nuts.
That's
like,
nuts.
It's ridiculous.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
People keep saying it's like, why don't you put this game on this, do that, and then you do it, and then people are like, it doesn't look as good. It's like, this is how it's going to work. Jeez, chill out. I'm all for it, man. I can't wait. I do need to freshen up on Xenoblade 2 because that's the one.
Xenoblade 2. Yeah.
I could lend you that. We'll talk later. You pay me. We'll rent it from you.
You can be the next Blockbuster.
Yeah.
Soundbuster. Yeah.
There's a joke in there, but I can't do it. So the thing is you know, we talk about like a dedicated RPG that the Switch has, and this is it. I don't think of any other sort of RPG like Triangle Strategy. All these other games are great, but they're not necessarily for Switch. They'll appear on mobile, they'll appear somewhere else. This is the team that helped Breath of the Wild get those massive open worlds done. So you're going to see the most impressive Switch game come out September this year. And again, you got to give Monolith Software credit. These guys are just hammering it out, man. They don't miss a release date when they have something lined up and they clearly announce it. They go for it. And the product comes out stellar. Regardless of what people said of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 having like a low sort of like resolution when in handheld mode and blah, 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 blah. Definitive edition of 1 was perfect. 2 got patched up a lot too. They're great games. They're really, really good RPGs. And to end the show on that, I was so happy, but a little sad because I wanted a couple of announcements. I wanted to hear about Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah,
And I heard
that was-
rumors
yeah.
that there was going to be an Arkham trilogy announced.
Oh, I didn't even
nothing.
hear that.
I didn't hear that.
That was a hot rumor going around that the Arkham City Rocksteady trilogies are going to come out for Switch, stated for August or something, which is redundant because you could buy all 3 games for less than
Like
$15
$2 on Steam or something. Yeah.
$2 on
Yeah.
Steam. But it's good to have.
Which is what I did. I think I bought them all really cheap on a Steam sale like ages ago. Yeah.
Arkham Knight was for $4 on PS4. So I mean, that tells you anything. Yeah, it's interesting. And then there was rumors that Borderlands 3 may get released as well. Mass Effect trilogy coming out on Switch as well, because that's something EA was hesitant about, but they can't ignore it. A lot of those questions are still unanswered. How about you guys?
Well, I was surprised, I guess, about Xenoblade because when are they going to re-release X?
Yeah, man.
That's my question. I was like,
X was a Wii U gem.
that's like one of the best Wii U games apparently, and I was like, man, I really want to. I got a Wii U, I can play it, but it just seems weird that they're not. I mean, is 4 going to be like the one where they bring these bots back, so then they release X and then 4 or something? Or
I think there's going to be demand. I remember I loved Tokyo Mirage Sessions a lot, and that game took a while to get re-released on Switch.
I wish it didn't after what they.
The
Not even-
censorship.
I mean, again, it's the point. It's just the
Censorship,
point.
Tony.
It's just the
I want
point.
them titties and I want them uncovered. damn
Dude,
it.
come on.
Hey, I'm all for you. I'm all for you.
Dude,
I'm
you of all
for-
people. You of all people.
No, Tony. These women need to cover up.
Dude, it's seriously, it's like if they got Puritan Pete from Virginia in 1650. Hey, what do you think about this girl's outfit? Just cover everything up.
Too
Everything.
risque.
Yeah, everything. It's all white and everything
They
pure.
make my mind
she's
go into
God's-
Nazi territory.
Right, and we have to pray the sin away, and it's like, oh, come on.
Can you dress them up as nuns? Yeah.
That's what. Have you seen the game? That's what it looks like. It's like comically. It looks comically horrible. It was one of the only times Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, apologized about something. Like,
Yeah.
when the things came out in Japan, the Japanese people were like, "Yo, what's going on?" And they're like, "Oh, well, we're basing this on the English version, so RB, you can get a refund if you want." Everyone's like, "Yes, please."
Well, I mean, isn't that the weirdest thing in North America and Europe? It's like sex is seen as such a strict issue, but violence, there's no limit. And I kind of find it, we should have somewhat of an opposite take, because like it's not corruptive, because I don't want to get into politic talks here, but clearly people want to express their preferences everywhere and there's no censorship there. So if I have a game and these women are scantily clad in it, that's the artistic designer's intent. Who gives a crap? But it's male curiosity, so we should censor it.
I just again, I don't like the practice of it, and besides, some of the outfits look just absolutely terrible. Like they
did a terrible job of removing a lot of the. It's
some
like
of them-
a digital dad went in there and was like, "Cover up, wear a jacket, put on some pants."
Digital dad.
I think
A digital
it's-
dad went into the Switch.
Digital
And he's like got like a cotton like a collared shirt. He's wearing like khakis or something. But he's like
In a neckerchief.
Come on, guys, this
it's-
isn't age appropriate.
Yeah, that's what it's
Cover
like.
that up.
Not. It looks.
You're not going out like that.
That dress is
Put
a
on-
little too short, see?
No, I don't like it because if it happened. It again, this kind of happened around the same time where they were like censoring visual novels on PlayStation, and they kind of like all seemed to happen at once. And Nintendo, I thought they were going to be the sort of champions of undoing what they did in the '90s, being this crazy censor everything. kind of company, and then it's for them to do this. I don't know. I just thought it was dumb. So out of principle, I just never got the game, and I already bought it for Wii U. So
same. I have it for Wii U, and to have it for Switch, it was a shocking but fun experience. Overall impressions of the Direct. What grade would you guys give it?
Oh, I'd give it a 9.
Nice.
Yeah, it's up there. It's not like, I don't think it's the absolute best Direct I could ever see, but like it's really high.
Yeah, that's the thing, because if they announced like, I don't know, Mario Odyssey 2 and then DK64 redone and then Breath of the Wild 2, then that would have been the greatest thing.
I would have given it a perfect 10 if they just hinted at what they have cooking in the summer, which I'm pretty sure we're gonna get GoldenEye.
I'm glad they didn't. I'm glad they didn't do that, because
The hint.
No, man, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the hints. Every time they give hints, we get hints. It's delayed 4 years. I love it. I love this where it's like, hey, here's the game and it's coming out in 2 weeks. It's like, yes.
Or download it today, like Shadow Drop.
I love it.
It's like, why?
I wanted.
Why? Here's this game. Why haven't you downloaded it already?
You
idiot. We just told you about it. Why? You should be playing it now.
So yeah, I would say the same. I would say it was a 9, an absolute 9. I thought it would have been much worse after I saw Fire Emblem 3 Hopes of Fears and Dashes is tomorrow.
Hopes of Wonder, yeah.
But thank goodness it just took off after, and I'm so happy. And to get like a solid September fall game for Switch, Xenoblade can hang with the best, man. It's a really stellar RPG. So yeah, I'm really super happy. And I mean, come on, Mario Kart for $24, you're getting like 48 courses.
And Strikers, man, like Jesus.
Strikers
like,
coming back. Oh,
and the Kirby game, yeah.
Kirby
game,
Wii Sports, or Switch
Advanced
Sports.
Force.
Yeah, Advanced Force as well.
Those remakes, the Live Alive thing, and the Dread
Portal
updates.
Collection.
Yeah,
No Man's Sky. We're not going to talk about the cloud game, but there's a lot of good stuff in there.
It's a good price, I will say that. Like if you buy it
stop
for
it.
sale.
Do you work for Square Enix?
Jeez, would you apply for them? You didn't tell us about it?
Yeah. This podcast is unwittingly sponsored by Square
Send
Enix.
them the message.
They're close. They have an office in Osaka, actually.
They're beaming it to Nat.
Yeah.
That's who's in his ear. They're like, tell them
There's gonna
about
be
the price.
they'll just be
We'll
like
guarantee you if you tell them that our games are good.
They'll just
Tell
be like
them it is fun.
subliminal
We'll sign
messaging
your
on my glasses,
contract.
like, and just be like Square.
Square.
Just every
Remember
like
to
a-
say
like a frame.
cloud version TM now.
Why wouldn't you like cloud version of Final Fantasy VII Remake on Switch? You know
that would
you
be
want
such a bad
it.
idea.
Oh no.
Yes, that's it. Plug us,
After the
plug us.
PC
cool.
massacre that happened with that game. Forget it, Square.
They're going to be dropping cloud versions of like the original games at this point. They're not
I hate that. And I think if Stadia's death should teach them anything, is they should get off of it.
But I think the Switch must do well enough. That's why they keep doing it. And I'm assuming Nintendo's promoting this, even
Oh, yeah.
though they only are they promoting this cloud garbage in America too?
They have.
are
I think we
now.
had Control, the cloud version of Control, and Resident Evil 7 actually
And Dying Light
was
2
playable.
is also a
Dying
cloud
Light
version.
2. There's a cloud
Because
version.
I know at first Resident Evil was only in Japan, and then I didn't know if it had come out later in the States.
It did.
Yeah, it seems.
Well, there's no region lock on the Switch. That's the fun part.
Right. But
I know Control was heavily promoted.
But they shouldn't even, if you can't put it out in all regions, right? Why? I don't know. Why even do that?
Some people may like it. I mean, Control Remedy has a better backing in the States than it does in Japan. Shooters don't necessarily do well.
Oh, that's true. That's true. I was referring more to like Resident Evil because that was, I think it was at first Japan only. So it's like, I don't know. What is this, 1989 all over again?
Yeah.
Jeez. I mean, And I love the excuse like, oh well, Japan has better internet infrastructure to deal. Has anyone gotten an apartment here before?
And just ask Nat. Guys, this was fun. Any takeaway takes? We're good.
No, I think that's about it.
This has been the GPX podcast, a contingent of GPX, which is one of the main contingents, but GPX is the name to remember.
And do check out our other channel, GPX Japan, where we put out reviews, game bits, videos, as well as GPX, the podcast clips, where we put in smaller clips of this show. And Tony is really breaking his back. He's doing a lot of good work there, cutting up clips. So please subscribe, like, support us, especially when we put out new videos on GPX Japan. Give us a like. And thank you guys.
Yep. Thanks again, guys. We hope you enjoy what we have coming up soon. So stay tuned.
And thank you very much for coming. And we hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one.